Imagine a world where the dark web isn't just a shadow corner of the internet, but a thriving 100 million empire. Now picture the mastermind behind it all, a 23 years old tech prodigy who thought he was untouchable. This is the story of Rui-Siang Lin, aka Pharaoh, and the rise and the fall of Incognito Market. So in this video we will dive into the intricate web of technology, cryptocurrency and cybercrime that made Incognito Market the kingpin of the dark web. We will explore how Lin built his empire, the innovative methods he used to stay ahead of the law enforcement, and the fatal flaws that ultimately led to his downfall. But here is the kicker. As we unreveal this tale, you will discover that the line between genius and criminal is thinner than you might think. And you will be left wondering, in a world where technology evolves faster than the law, who really holds the power? So by the end of this video, you will understand not just how Incognito Market operated, but why its fall sent shockwaves through the entire dark web ecosystem. So buckle up and prepare to enter a world where code is king, anonymity is currency, and one wrong move can bring down an empire. So it's May 18, 2024, and federal agents are watching every move of a 23 years old man named Rui-Siang Lin as he walks through John F. Kennedy International Airport. Now, Lin is unaware that his every step is being monitored, unaware that the online empire he built, the infamous Incognito Market, is about to crumble. The FBI has been closing in on him for months, carefully unrevealing the web of anonymity he meticulously crafted. They know this is their moment, the moment to bring down the kingpin of one of the dark web's most notorious drug markets. But how did we get here? How did a young man from Taiwan, a brilliant developer with a promising career, end up as one of the most wanted cybercriminals in the world? This is the story of how Rui-Siang Lin, also known as Pharaoh, built the Incognito Market into a $100 million empire, and how it all fell apart. Stay with me as we delve into the rise and fall of Incognito Market, from its inception to its inevitable collapse, and the intricate web of technology and greed that fueled it. So to understand the magnitude of the Incognito Market, we first need to understand the man behind it. And Rui-Siang Lin was no ordinary hacker. He was born in Taiwan, and Lin was a bright student excelling in computer science and cybersecurity. By the time he graduated from the National Taiwan University in June 2023, he had already built a reputation as a blockchain enthusiast and a skilled developer. But Lin wasn't content with just being another tech professional. He had ambitions far behind the confines of a traditional career. And on the surface, Lin led a dual life. His LinkedIn profile painted a picture of a promising young professional working as a diplomatic specialist at Taiwan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs. But beneath this respectable facade was a darker reality. And Lin was the alleged mastermind behind the Incognito Market, a darknet masterplace that facilitated the sale of illicit drugs and other illegal goods. Operating under the pseudonym of Pharaoh, Lin controlled every aspect of the market, from its technology infrastructure to its financial operations. And Lin's story begins in the bustling city of Taipei, where he was born in 2000. From a young age, Lin showed an aptitude for technology, quickly mastering computers and programming languages. His parents, both educators, nurtured his talents, encouraging him to pursue his passion for technology. By the time Lin reached high school, he was already proficient in several programming languages, including Python, Java, and C++. His teacher recognized his potential and recommended that he apply to the National Taiwan University, one of the country's most prestigious institutes. Now, at the university, Lin's skills only grew stronger. He majored in computer science, focusing on cybersecurity and blockchain technology. His professors described him as a prodigy, someone who could solve complex problems with ease and elegance. And Lin quickly became involved in various research projects, often working late into the night on coding challenges and cryptography puzzles. It was during this time that Lin first encountered the world of cryptocurrencies, a discovery that would change the course of his life forever. But Lin wasn't just a student behind the scene, he was beginning to explore the darker side of the internet. Fascinated by the anonymity that cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Monero offered, Lin started experimenting with small-scale darknet markets. He learned how these markets operated, studying their vulnerabilities, and thinking about how he could improve upon them. By the time he graduated, Lin had a plan to create the most secure and successful darknet market the world had ever seen. To the outside world, Lin appeared to be a model citizen. He secured a job at Taiwan Ministry of Foreign Affairs, working as a diplomatic specialist in the technical section of the Taiwanese embassy in St. Lucia. The role gave him access to sensitive information and advanced technology, so further fueling his ambitions. But Lin's real passion lay in the darknet, where he was known by another name, Pharaoh. So in October 2020, Lin launched Incognito Market on the Tor network, a platform designed with the sole purpose of enabling anonymous transactions for illegal goods. Unlike previous darknet marketplaces, Incognito was designed from the ground up to be more secure, more user-friendly, and far more lucrative for its operators. So while the Silk Road and Hydra had laid the groundwork for darknet markets, they were not without their flaws, and Silk Road, the first major darknet market, was revolutionary, but ultimately flawed in its security protocol, leading to its downfall and the arrest of its founder, Ross Ulbricht. Hydra, on the other hand, was massive, dominating the Russian-speaking dark web, but limiting its reach and user base. And Lin saw these limitations as opportunities. He envisioned Incognito as a global marketplace that combined the best features of its predecessors while addressing their weaknesses. And Lin's background in blockchain technology allowed him to innovate beyond what had been done before. He introduced a banking system within Incognito, a feature that set it apart from other darknet markets. The bank allowed users to deposit cryptocurrencies into their accounts on the site, conduct transactions, and even earn interest on their deposits. Now, by keeping the transactions within the market, Lin made it significantly harder for law enforcement to trace payments, adding an additional layer of anonymity for both buyers and sellers. And let's dive deeper into the technology that powered Incognito Market. As its core, Incognito was built on the Tor network, an anonymizing service that hid users' identities by routing their internet traffic through a series of encrypted servers around the world. Now, this made it extremely difficult for anyone to trace the origin of the traffic, providing a shield of anonymity for users of the market. But Tor was just the beginning. Lin understood that the true security required multiple layers of protections. He employed the combinations of virtual private networks, VPNs, end-to-end encryption, and advanced cryptographic protocols to secure every aspect of Incognito. Now, this multi-layered approach made it nearly impossible for law enforcement to penetrate the market defenses. And Incognito infrastructure was also highly decentralized, and Lin knew that a single point of failure could bring down the entire operation. So he distributed the market servers across multiple countries, each with its own security protocols. This meant that even if one server was compromised, the rest of the network would remain intact, allowing the market to continue operating without interruption. So we already mentioned that one of Lin's most innovative contributors to the dark net was the creation of the cryptocurrency bank within Incognito. And this wasn't just a simple wallet for storing Bitcoin or Monero. It was a fully fledged banking system that allowed users to deposit funds, conduct transactions, and even earn interest on their deposits. Now, the bank also facilitated the exchange of different cryptocurrencies, giving users more flexibility in how they conduct their transactions. Amazing. And the bank's primary function was to keep transactions within the Incognito system. By doing this, Lin was able to obscure the money trail, making it incredibly difficult for law enforcement to trace payment. And transactions within the bank were encrypted and processed using a technique known as coin join, which mixes multiple transactions together, further hiding the source and destination of the funds. Now, Lin's use Monero, a privacy-focused cryptocurrency, added an additional layer of security. Unlike Bitcoin, which has a transparent public ledger, Monero transactions are completely private. This made the perfect currency for darknet transactions, as it allowed users to send and receive funds without leaving a trace. Now, to further enhance anonymity, Incognito Market operated a sophisticated system for managing transactions. So initially the market relied on Bitcoin, but as law enforcement agencies developed more advanced blockchain analysis tools, Bitcoin's transparency became a liability. Lin recognized this vulnerability and transitioned the market to Monero. That we spoke about. It's a cryptocurrency designed specifically for privacy. And you know what? I just remember it's important to mention something about Monero privacy feature, such as ring signatures, stealth addresses, and ring confidential transactions, what it called ring CT. It made it exceedingly difficult for anyone to trace the flow of funds. In essence, Monero obscured who was sending and receiving money and how much was being transferred. So with these robust security measures in place, Incognito Market grew rapidly. By 2023, it had become one of the most popular darknet marketplaces, attracting thousands of users from around the world. The platform offered everything from narcotics and counterfeit currency to hacking tools and illegal firearms. The variety of goods available on Incognito was staggering, but it was the market's reputation for security and reliability that kept users coming back. And as Incognito grew, so did Lin's profit. The marketplace was raking in millions of dollars cryptocurrency, with Lin taking a 5% cut from every transaction. His technical expertise, combined with his shrewd business acumen, allowed him to build a fortune in the shadow of the dark web. But as Incognito user base expanded, so too did the scrutiny from law enforcement agencies around the world. And by 2022, the FBI and Homeland Security had begun to take a serious interest in Incognito Market. They knew that shutting down the operation would be no easy task. The market's sophisticated security measures, coupled with its global reach, made it one of the most challenging targets that they had ever faced. But the agents assigned to the case were determined, and they began to devise a plan to bring down the empire that Lin had built. With that said, it's important, Incognito Market wasn't just another player in the dark web economy. It was a game changer. The market's user-friendly interface, combined with its robust security features, attracted a diverse range of users, from small-time buyers looking for recreational drugs to large-scale vendors dealing in high volumes of illicit goods. the market's reputation for reliability and security quickly spread, and soon Incognito was competing and even suppressing other major markets like Empire, White House, and Canonzone. At its peak, the marketplace was facilitating over $100 million worth of transactions annually, with Lin pocketing a significant percentage in fees. For many vendors, Incognito became the go-to platform for conducting businesses, as it offered a more secure and efficient environment than its competitors. This dominance, however, would soon attract the unwanted attention of the FBI. So as I mentioned before, the FBI and Homeland Security knew they couldn't just take down Incognito Market with brute force. They needed to be patient, meticulous, and strategic. Their investigation, which began in 2022, was a combination of a traditional detective work and advanced cyber tactics. Undercover agents posed as both buyers and sellers, engaging in hundreds of transactions on the platform, gathering as much information as possible about the market operation. But the real challenge lay in tracing the financial transactions, right? And Incognito's use of Monero and its internal banking system made it nearly impossible to track the funds through traditional means. So law enforcement agencies had to adopt new strategies, working with blockchain analysts and leveraging a cutting-edge forensic tools to crack the layers of encryption, protecting the marketplace financial record. And the first major breakthrough in the investigation came in late 2023, when an undercover agent made a crucial purchase on Incognito Market. The agent had ordered what was supposed to be an oxycodone, a prescription painkiller that is frequently sold on the dark web. However, when the drugs arrived and were sent to a lab for testing, it was revealed that the pills were not as he thought. They were fentanyl, a potent synthetic opioid that has been responsible for thousands of overdose deaths worldwide. This discovery gave law enforcement agencies the leverage they needed to intensify their efforts against Incognito. It wasn't over, and it wasn't enough for sure. So another significant obstacle for law enforcement was Incognito's use of PGP encryption for all communication. PGP, which is a pretty good privacy, is one of the most secure forms of encryption available, and it's widely used in both legitimate and illicit operations to protect sensitive information. Now, on Incognito, buyers, sellers, and administrators were required to use PGP to encrypt their messages, ensuring that if law enforcement managed to intercept the communication, they would be virtually unreadable without the corresponding private key. And law enforcement agencies knew that cracking PGP encryption directly would be a nearly impossible task. And instead, they focus on social engineering and exploiting human errors. And many darknet users, particularly those who are less technically proficient, fail to follow proper encryption protocols. Some users reuse passwords, forget to encrypt certain messages, or make other basic mistakes that can leave them vulnerable. And the FBI was able to identify several such errors during their investigation, which gave them critical insights into how the market operated and who was involved. So these slip-ups, combined with forensic analysis of cryptocurrency transactions, allowed law enforcement to build a case against Rui-Siang Lin. For all of his brilliance, Rui-Siang Lin made one crucial mistake. He got greedy. By 2024, Lin had amassed a fortune in cryptocurrency, but it wasn't enough. He wanted more. He was willing to take risks to get it. And in March 2024, Lin decided to initiate what is known as an exit scam, a common tactic used by darknet administrators to steal funds from their users before disappearing. And Lin announced that Incognito Market would be shutting down, but not before attempting to extort the market users. He threatened to leak private messages, transaction details, and other sensitive information unless users paid a fee ranging from $100 to $20,000. This act of desperation was a clear indication that Lin's time was running out, and it set off alarm bells within the darknet community. The exit scam didn't go as planned, and users began to panic, and many quickly tried to withdraw their funds from the market. But by then, it was too late. Lin had already drained cryptocurrency wallets, leaving his users high and dry, and this betrayal turned many of Incognito's most loyal users against him, and it wasn't long before word of the scam reached law enforcement. And as law enforcement agencies followed the money trail, they eventually connected the cryptocurrency transactions to a digital wallet that had been linked to Lin. Additionally, Lin made a critical mistake of using identifiable personal information at most points during his operation. Unbelievable. And law enforcement was able to capture. And this could have been during the registration of online accounts or through other transactions that required some form of identification. So once the FBI had a lead on Lin's digital wallet, they further traced the associated transactions and communication logs. This led them to identify Lin's real-world identity and obtain more personal details, including his driver license. And the combination of financial tracking and OPSEC mistakes provided the evidence needed to issue an arrest warrant. And with the investigation already in full swing, the exit scam provided law enforcement with the final piece of the puzzle. So on May 18, 2024, as Rui-Siang Lin prepared to board a flight at John F. Kennedy International Airport, he was arrested by Homeland Security investigators. Within days, Lin was arraigned in Manhattan Federal Court, where he was charged with multiple counts, including engaging in continuing criminal enterprise, narcotics conspiracy, money laundering, and distributing drugs. Lin's arrest sent shockwaves through the darknet community, and Incognito Market, once one of the most secure and reliable platforms on the dark web, was no more. Other darknet markets quickly took notice, with many administrators shutting down their operations in fear of being the next target. Users too began to migrate to smaller, more obscure markets, hoping to avoid the attention of law enforcement. But Lin's arrest was more than just a victory of law enforcement. It was a turning point in the fight against cybercrime. The investigation had demonstrated that even the most sophisticated darknet operations could be infiltrated and dismantled, giving enough time and resources. It also highlighted the growing importance of cryptocurrency, forensics, and blockchain analysis in combining cybercrime. The story of Rui-Siang Lin and Incognito Market is a cautionary tale for both cybercriminal and cybersecurity professionals. It's a testament to the power of technology, both for good and for ill. And Lin believed that his technical skills and sophisticated encryption would make him untouchable. But in the end, it was his own greed and human error that led to his downfall. So if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of darknet markets and cybercrime, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. And as always, stay safe out there, both in the real world and online. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.